I used to set goals every single month, reach 300 subscribers, post one video a week, exercise every morning. And every single time I'd start off really strong. I was really excited about it, but I would just eventually burn out, and then I'd feel this massive sense of guilt for not achieving those goals. But here's what I've kind of figured out over the past few years. It was never about the goals. It was about the fact that I had no system to reach those goals. And once I stopped obsessing over the goals and I started building my own systems, that's when everything started to change for me. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how I built my own systems and how you can too. So let's talk about the big problem with goals. Goals are very black and white. You either achieved them or you failed. There's no middle ground. For people with ADHD especially, that feeling of failure triggers massive guilt and shame spirals. And even when you do manage to achieve a goal, the motivation disappears before you move on to the next one. There's a big dopamine gap between having achieved one thing and then starting at the beginning of another goal. And goals rely on sustained willpower. That is incredibly difficult for people with ADHD to keep. If you are an ADHD creator struggling with consistency, I've put together a free toolkit for you with AI prompts to help you with content creation. It's completely free. Links down below if you're interested. So let's talk about systems. Think of the goal as the destination. That's where you want to get to. A system is the road that you travel every day to get to that goal. So goals are focused on outcomes. They're focused on results. Systems focus on inputs, what you actually do to reach those goals. The key mindset shift for me, at least, I stopped asking myself, did I reach this goal? Did I do this thing? I started asking myself, did I follow my system today? Like, did I do my morning routine? Did I do Charlie's bath and bedtime routine? My day-to-day life revolves around systems now. Goals are just the thing that I'm slowly working towards over time. I think the main thing from switching from thinking about goals to thinking about systems is actually changing your identity, like how you think of yourself. So systems change who you are, not just what you achieve. You're not thinking about the stuff that you've done. You're thinking about the person that you are trying to become in order to achieve those goals. So let's say, for example, instead of me thinking about YouTube this year as I want to post 52 videos this year, that is quite a big ambitious goal. I am then holding myself accountable to posting one video every single week for the entire year. That can be quite overwhelming for someone with ADHD. Instead, I just make sure I film 3 videos at once every week to week and a half, and I follow the systems that I've put in place for creating content. As long as I'm following my systems, I know I will eventually create the content, make the videos, post the videos, but I'm not too worried about the goal as long as I'm creating a system that makes content creation sustainable for me. Systems are the things that keep going even when you've achieved your goals. So let me give you a few real life examples of systems that I use in my everyday life. Let's start with my morning system. So I wake up at 5 every single morning. That's like Monday to Friday. I wake up at 5. I do 10 minutes of meditation. I do a 10-minute full body stretch routine. I will then drive to the gym and smash my workout. That's on Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I stay at home and do a high intensity workout. That for me is kind of non-negotiable. Like if I don't do my meditation and my gym routine, that's what sets me up for the day, right? That's what gets me in the best possible mental and physical space I can be to be a good dad to Charlie, to be a good partner to Kaylee, and to just like smash all my tasks for that day. If I don't do my morning exercise, there have been very rare few times that I haven't. I just find myself really agitated, especially because I have ADHD. I have like this endless amount of energy, and unless I channel that into something productive, which kind of starts a chain reaction of me being more and more productive throughout the day, that day is not ruined. It's just I haven't had the best start I could possibly have to that day, and that becomes kind of my physical medicine for working with my ADHD. It is what sets me up for the day. All right, so let's talk about content creation, because this is a YouTube channel, of course. So I have talked about this in a few previous videos, but I have recently changed my content creation workflow, and it has made such a big difference. So I've kind of built a system that works with my ADHD instead of against it. So before, I would spend about 5 hours scripting my videos word for word. I would then read that script word for word on camera. But the big problem was, firstly, it just took way too long. Secondly, it doesn't allow me to talk naturally on camera and try and connect with you guys, because it feels a bit robotic, right? I'm just looking down at my screen, reading it word for word and trying to look up occasionally. It doesn't really work. So my new process, or my new system I should say, for content creation, I'll start by using vidIQ to do some outlier research. I will then hand that over to a project I've created in Claude called my Idea Ignition. It will basically analyze all of the outlier research and pick the best free video ideas that I can start working on next, so I don't need to make too many decisions. Obviously, assuming I'm happy with those video ideas, I'll move ahead. I've then got a few different projects set up within Claude. So I've got one to help me come up with the best titles, the best thumbnail ideas, and it will even run me through how to make those thumbnail concepts in Canva as simply as possible. So I've got the idea, the titles, the thumbnails. Now the scripts, like I said, I've changed that. So I will now use Perplexity to do all of the research, get all of the data and facts I need for the video topic. I will hand that back over to Claude. Claude can then analyze everything and it can build me a video script outline. So it has the hook written for me word for word. It's got my call to actions and everything kind of important that I need. But the rest is just kind of like main points, bullet points, stuff that I can glance at if I need to, but it allows me to speak more naturally from my own experiences. And I think that is what differentiates a robotic feeling video where you can tell someone's just reading the script word for word to a video where you feel like an authentic connection with the content creator. Once I've got the script outline, I will film the video like I am doing now. Once I film the video, I use Descript to do all of the editing. Just made a video on that. Descript is the best video editor I have ever used. It is such a lifesaver for people with ADHD. Once the video is edited and exported, I will upload to YouTube. I will use vidIQ to help me maximize the SEO. That's pretty much it. I know that's a lot, but I now have a system that I can follow. So when I've made 3 videos and I finish uploading those 3 videos, I'm not sitting here twiddling my thumbs thinking, what should I do next? I've got a system in place. I know what I need to do next. And I just keep doing that over and over again. I make as much content as possible. I try and provide as much value as possible in my videos. And hopefully I can turn this into some sort of successful YouTube channel. So you're probably wondering, how do you go about starting to build your own systems? So let's break this down step by step. Pick one area of your life that feels completely chaotic right now. That could be content creation if you're an aspiring YouTuber. That could be your finances. It can be fitness if you're looking to join a gym or something like that. It could be family time. Your family life might be a bit all over the place. Just pick the one area that feels the most chaotic as of right now when you're watching this video. I want you to just sit there and type it out or write it down somewhere. The next step is to identify 2 to 3 things that you could do consistently to work towards the goal of what you want in that area of your life. So let's say, for example, you chose fitness. You want to build more muscle. I'm just saying that because that's like one of my goals. So write down 2 to 3 actions that you could do every single day, even if it takes like 5-10 minutes, that slowly works towards that goal of building muscle. So it could be going to the gym twice a week. It could be just doing 1 more push-up than you done the day before. So if you do 15 push-ups and that's your limit, try and give it a day's rest and do 16 the next time you work out. Just small, slow steps. The next step, this is quite important, build a bad brain day version. So let's say you're a parent, you've had a terrible night's sleep, you're barely functioning the next morning, but you still want to do the bare minimum to work towards the system that you're slowly building for yourself. So what is the absolute minimum you would be able to do on days like that? Coming back to like the fitness thing, is it 5 push-ups? You could literally just do a quick warm-up, do a 10-minute body weight session, and then just carry on with your day. It doesn't have to be like an hour-long workout. And this step is optional, but I would highly recommend that as someone that uses AI for a lot of different things. Use your favorite AI tool. It could be Claude, ChatGPT, whichever. Use it to help you map out your system and find your habit stacks. Tell it specifically about your day-to-day life, so like what a standard day looks like for you. Ask it to analyze when your energy levels are at their highest and when they might be at their lowest, and ask it to help you build a system around your energy levels, not your time, your energy. Because I think, especially for people with ADHD, knowing how to use your energy effectively to get the most out of your days is an incredibly valuable skill. I know for a fact that I am most productive in the mornings because I've woken up early, I've done my gym workout, I've tidied the house, done everything I need to, and that just builds up the momentum that I need to get other things done. So key takeaways from this video: goals give you directions, systems are the things that actually get you there. So for people with ADHD especially, systems are the things that replace willpower. You don't need to consistently have willpower to achieve your goals as long as you have the right systems in place. And you don't need more discipline, you're not lazy, you just need to find a system that works with you and your everyday life. So just have a think about what your everyday life looks like right now. Pick one area of your life that just feels completely chaotic and just start building a system around that, and then move on to the next area of your life. Just focus on one thing at a time. Start with one system, focus on that, build it, and focus on the day-to-day habits that will help you keep that system sustainable. And guys, don't forget to grab that free AI toolkit I mentioned. It's completely free, links down below. And if you found this video helpful, then you might like to check out this video over here where I talk about the 4 AI tools that I use for my content creation system.